What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 26 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, man?
Series 6 is upon us.
I am so excited.
The day this comes out, Series 6 will be getting ready to start tomorrow. And
Oh, see, I thought it came out Monday.
it starts September 1st, which would be the
Gotcha. Okay.
which would be the Tuesday after this episode comes out. We've already played the Series 6 tournament, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. Which we will be talking about probably first.
Probably early on. Yeah, we'll probably talk about that one first. We could talk about the Players' Cup that happened as well.
I mean, it's basically Worlds. I figured we would cover it to some good extent.
Notably, a lot of the teams are obsolete because Series 6. But, yeah. And then we've got our Team of the Week, which is Series 6 proof.
Yeah, proof of concept, I think. But from talking to a couple guys on Discord, they really like the team and they think it's doing real particularly well. So
we'll talk about that too, probably at the very end, and then maybe some. I think might be able to find some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, who knows? We'll throw some variety segment here at the end or something.
What do you want to start with? You want to start with the Rumble that happened, or do you want to start with Players' Cup?
Rumble sounds great.
Let's start with the Rumble. So, to the surprise of no one, chasing L1 again.
Chasing cheats.
This is your first time participating.
True, it is.
Let's see here. Chasing, like we said, 1 overall. Still undefeated.
Yep, 3 in a row. Now has a bounty tag on Discord.
Yep. Chasing's team was a kind of variant of like hyper aggro. It looks very reminiscent of like Series 2 teams hyper aggro with Durant and Charizard and Grimmsnarl.
The big difference here is I always paired Whimsicott with Durant, but I mean Grimmsnarl seems to fit that role pretty well too. So
Grimmsnarl does a good job, has Fake Out and T-Wave. Amoonguss to that degree also works with Durant, having access to Rage Powder and Spore.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that like I did pretty early on was Butterfree Durant because you got Redirection, you had Tailwind, you have Sleep Powder, like Compound Eye Sleep Powder's real good.
Oh yeah,
and like you get healing from Pollen Puff too, so like it was real powerful. The problem is like that was when Charizard was really popular and really just looked at you and goes, "Okay, you're dead."
You got it. Cool. I'm gonna put you in sash range, and you did. But yeah, this team is very reminiscent of Series 2, like, Durant teams. Gastrodon's on this team to cover the Water, Fire, Grass Core, and also just to take water attacks for Charizard. I don't remember if this Urshifu is Water or Dark. I think it's the Dark form.
I believe this is Dark. Looking at this graphic, we have different ones for both. Looking down at CJL's team here at 5th. It has 2 different graphics, so I'm assuming it means
I'm assuming that's the Dark one, and the Water one is the whole fancy arms. Moving down to second place here, tournament organizer Jiggly Dreams took second here. Notably, Amoonguss and Arcanine are on his team, which I feel like that's going to be a very common lead come Series 6.
For sure. It's funny, we'll talk about our teams here in a minute, but very independently, we came to Amoonguss, Arcanine, Rotom, Wash as like our Fire, Water, Grass core.
Yeah.
And like Arcanine, Amoonguss, we have 4 teams here with that core together.
Yeah.
And then your water types differ between.
And then just whatever water type fits your bill. In the case for Jiggly Dreams, they needed a fast water type to kind of counteract, like have a fast mode against Trick Room.
Mm-hmm.
Which they weren't a very good Trick Room team, but they had like Trick Room Mons. Gigalith on this team felt kind of weird.
I did not play Jiggly, so I couldn't actually. I think maybe. I don't remember, man. This is like a week ago now.
I played Jiggly round 2, and Teleon beat me up game 2, but I beat him up game 1 and game 3.
So yeah, if you played him game 2, then I probably did not play him. So I started out with the bye, and then I went double loss into double win. Finished 3-2.
I went double win into triple loss.
Rough.
I beat Jiggly, I beat Austin, and then I lost to Chasing, and then I lost to EB, and then I lost to Matt.
I got punked out hard by EB, and I beat Slacking, and I got the bye. Maybe I went 2-3. I don't remember, man.
Yeah, Teleon here on Jiggly's team for a fast water type Gigalith to work in Trick Room. Notably, you can put weakness policy on your Gigalith and bulldoze it and perk your weakness policy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Grimmsnarl here just to kind of support their Dusclops. That's another combo that you're probably going to see a lot more of is Grimmsnarl plus Dusclops, because Grimmsnarl gets T-Wave and Fake Out and can really help that Dusclops make sure it just doesn't go down.
Oh, and like even like advancing on that, we have Amoonguss Dusclops, where you have your priority redirection with Amoonguss, but also gets a benefit from being in Trick Room by being fast. So like that core together also seems real powerful.
Yeah.
So and like they're both insanely bulky, where they can both live hits. So it's just like, yeah, why not pair these two together? Which we see here on Jiggly's team, we see here on Matt's team in third. Like, that core seems really good together.
Matt notably went the other route. Instead of having a fast and a slow mode, they just went hard slow. Mm-hmm. So they have Lapras on their team as their water type, and they have Dragalge as their Trick Room abuser.
Which, as we have seen in the past, you have Bulldoze to trigger weakness policy on Dragalge, and you get to do things with that too. So
notably, Dragalge gets Electric type coverage, so like you have all the coverage in the world on this team, which is great. Next up is the first team that has no repeat mons from any of the team above it. I don't think there's any repeat ones on this team at all.
I believe you are correct.
Oh, there's a Liepard on another team.
I was close.
It's really close. This team has Hydreigon, Colossal, Wartortle, Duraludon, Liepard, and Decidueye.
So, okay. I ended up playing EB, and game 1, I got punked out hard by Liepard. Just, could not actually answer this Liepard. Mm-hmm. Because I led to beat Colossal Wartortle. So, game 2, I adapted to be able to beat the Liepard and just got punked out by the Colossal.
That's how Colossal
come on, man.
That's how they work. Usually, best of threes, you kind of just, have to find cute ways to abuse Colossal. And if your opponent just overcommits, then you can get him.
Yep, I stumbled and I died.
Hydreigon in here is probably going to be the premier dragon, I feel like. Between Hydreigon and Dracovish, I feel like are going to be the premier dragons.
Hydreigon's really good, man, and with not really having a solid fairy that can answer it like Togekiss could, it just gets to run away with the games.
Primarina is probably going to be the only mon that is scared of at this point.
Primarina, and if it pops up, Sylveon. But I just think Primarina does basically everything that Sylveon wants to do, just a little better. So having access to that water coverage is really important. You lose out on fire coverage because you don't get mystical fire like
but you
Sylveon
get
does.
Energy Ball instead.
Yeah, which that also just is fine. You have a better answer for bulky water types with Energy Ball than you do with Sylveon, which has Hyper Beam.
Yeah,
that was my bulky water answer.
Speaking of Primarina's on this next team. Another team that has a lot of unique mons. Mm-hmm. Marowak and Hatterene, only not unique mons on this team. Centiskorch, Marowak, a Primarina, Water Urshifu, Raichu, and Hatterene.
So
I know what this team does.
I played this team, and I lost to it. I can't remember exactly what I lost to.
Notably, they have Perish Trap on their team.
What are we trapping with?
Centiskorch can Gigantamax and will lock you in with Centiferno.
I did not know that. So there's 2 Gigantamax moves that trap? That's weird.
Also can just set up Trick Room and blow you out of the water. And also, their water mons are super doubly protected by both this Marowak and Raichu if they both have Lightning Rod.
Mm-hmm. I believe the Marowak had Rockhead. I think. Because I think there was something that came up with Rotom going into the Primarina. I'm like, well, if they have Lightning Rod, I just lose. And I don't think it had Lightning Rod.
Either way, team's really cool. It's really unique. It has a lot of double weaknesses though, like the Centiskorch and the Marowak, and then the Primarina and the Waterfoo. The Marowak and the Raichu both have the same weakness. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting team for sure. Hattering's just so good, man. I legitimately think like G-Max Hattering is going to be, again, just one of the premier Trick Room abusers, which, I mean, it has been for quite a while. You know, it even in Series 5, it's just been, like, super dominant.
I think Hattering sees less play than we think it's going to get.
Okay, why?
Because it's not immune to Fake Out anymore. There's no Psychic Surge to protect your Hattering anymore. Your Hattering is just going to get Fake Out every time. Because you can't redirect it.
They were talking about it today. Meowstic gets Psychic Terrain?
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, it's Psychic Terrain. No, that's not the move. What is the move actually called?
That sets up Psychic Terrain?
Uh-huh.
Psychic Terrain.
Oh.
You're used to seeing all the surges.
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking Psychic Surge. I'm like...
That's the ability.
That doesn't sound right, Carl.
But notably, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Because it only adds +1, and Fake Out's +3.
I tried.
Clap them. Get them every time. So I actually think Hattering's going to see less play as a actual Trick Room setter and more just as an abuser.
I think you're going to see a lot of Dusclops Hattering. And I think that's just fine. Okay, we'll talk about it when we get there. But remind me, my other win was against Polygriff.
Yeah.
I know I got punked out by a Hattering, and I thought this is the only one that I actually had to look.
The next team is who I played round 1, and their team was really cool.
I got to watch your match because I had a bye.
Yeah. This Gothitelle is competitive. I thought it was Shadow Tag, so I lost match 1, but then I beat him the next 2 matches because my teams usually work out. Once I know what your team does, I can usually play around and adapt really, really quickly. Which was what happened on this one is I found out, okay, Gothitelle is not a Shadow Tag, so I can freely swap whoever I want. If I have a bad lead, I can just swing around and whatnot.
You're not getting trapped in.
Yeah. But Snorlax, Charizard, Azumarill, Herdier, Meowstic, and Gothitelle.
That's a Stoutland,
That's a Stoutland, yeah. Not a Herdier. Close. I think it should be Herdier. Herdier's better than Stoutland.
Hard disagree. Choice Band Stoutland gonna mess you up.
Nah.
You know how hard that Giga Impact hits?
You gotta hit with it first.
True, but... So you know how hard Adaptability Hyper Beam hits from PZ? Yeah, that hard. The plus side is PZ gets Life Orb, and majority of Stoutlands are either Choice Band. I've seen Assault Vest, which I personally like Assault Vest more, but this is not the first time I've seen Stoutland, because I tried to make it work back in Gen 5 when I first wanted to get into competitive Pokemon and knew nothing about it. I'm just like, weather's really good this generation. This has Sand Rush. I'm going to do that. It wasn't. It was not good.
Notably, there's no way to set Sand outside of Ancient Power off of Charizard or Rock Slide off of Snorlax.
Does Meowstic get Sunny Day?
It's that one.
Okay. I figured it didn't get Sandstorm, but I figured it got Sunny Day for Charizard.
Notably, it also gets Rain Dance for Azumarill.
Interesting.
But yeah, I know the Gothitelle is competitive, which it's scary. competitive Gothitelle is real scary.
Mm-hmm.
Azumarill was huge power. Charizard was normal Giant Gigantamax Charizard. The Snorlax, I think, was Choice Band set.
Okay.
I don't think there was anything else because it was just like, I believe it was all attacks. I don't think I ever saw Protect out of the Snorlax, or a Curse, or a Billy Drum, or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I don't know what the Stoutland was because I never saw it. Meowstic was annoying. Like I'm just annoyed by Meowstic all the time.
Meowstic was actually the last mon to get added to my team. Early in testing, it was... I wonder if I still have that on my phone.
Maybe.
Man, I cannot remember for the life of me, and I don't have it on here.
Womp womp.
I tried a bunch of different things, like, testing for this. Originally, I was going to run Electric Terrain, like, Raichu spam.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, after playing the game a couple different times, I'm just like, man, this doesn't feel great. So then I switched to what we see here. Like I said, I can't remember what I had instead of Meowstic.
I don't know.
It's going to bother me, but oh well. So we have... Okay. We have Amoonguss, Arcanine, Rotom Wash, and then what really was the core was Kangaskhan, Aegislash, and then having Meowstic as like just like prankster. It was trick prankster things. So like we have eject button, so we can go trick onto you and then sucker punch from Kangaskhan.
Hope you went for an attacking move.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then when that doesn't work, Kangaskhan gets to fake out, and then Amoonguss gets to spore, which is sweet. Because we have Scrappy on Kangaskhan, we always get to hit everything. I was running Body Slam on Kangaskhan because, like, I think it's better than Double Edge, and having that chance for Para is really good, and actually, like, was insane. And then I had several games, especially in testing, where I brought Kangaskhan, Aegislash, and they, like, Dynamax or Urshifu or whatever, go for a Max Knuckle, and I just swap out, and just like, alright, cool. I ate your turn. There was a game where they went for Max Knuckle into Kanga, I switched out. Then they went for Max Phantasm, and I switched back in. Like, cool, just actually ate your entire Dynamax.
Let's go!
They conceded after that. I don't understand why.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we shared a lot of our Firewater Grass Core was pretty much the exact same. I think you even, I shared my team and you stole the Arcanine set.
Okay, so, the Amoonguss and the Rotom, we came to independently. The set for my Arcanine was, one move off, but we were both safety goggles, and I didn't know what EV spread to do. I was like, hey, I'm just stealing this, thanks. But, originally, you had Black Sludge on your Amoonguss. I had Cobra Berry. You switched to Cobra Berry. Mm-hmm. Just because, I really anticipated more Talonflames than we actually saw, with a total of zero. So, Cobra Berry was not very great on Sunday, but...
I had a team with Talonflame on it. I didn't bring it. But, notably, my set... was PZ Corviknight Clefairy was my end.
Yours is way more traditional, and I wanted to play Scrappy Kanga.
Literally just Porygon-Z Clefairy is just go get them. And then I had a game go 40 turns with Corviknight.
Good lord.
I was paralyzed, but they actually couldn't do more than a fifth because I had bulked up so much. So all I needed to do was try to get him low enough to where Brave Bird would OHKO. Well, it turns out Brave Bird was going to OHKO no matter what at plus 6.
I can't imagine why.
I was very surprised because it was up against a Gastrodon.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know if this OHKOs, and I just clicked it, and I just...
You sent me the replay for that, and after it got to 20 turns, I'm like, I am bored of watching this.
It was a lot of iron heading and scalding back and forth. I couldn't get burned because I was already paralyzed.
Gotcha.
So we were just going back and forth with these moves, and I ended up getting a really long game 1, which was great. But yeah, Amoonguss, Arcanine, Rotom was a really cool water grass fire
Agreed.
core.
I said afterwards, I'm like, I could legitimately see this 3 being a core moving forward.
Yeah, like it's a real good set altogether. Another option you could do that I had thought up of was Serena, Arcanine, and then like Lapras.
I've seen that.
That's another one where I was like, it's a slower core, but it's a little bit more bulkier.
I believe it was Wolfie who was talking about Serena over Rillaboom. I think he had a video of like, what do you play instead of the Bandmons now?
Yeah, like what's the replacements?
I think he said something like that. I believe Aaron Zhang also said something similar about like Serena popping up in popularity, which I am like, dude, I'm serious. I love Serena. Like, it has put in a lot of work in the I think I've had it in at least 2, if not all 3 of the draft leagues we've done. It's like, Serena is just like insanely good for me. And it has been for quite a while. So I'm just like, yeah, this is great. I can get down with Serena all day.
How many times have you brought it in a match? Let's find out.
I think this season I brought it 3 of my 4 so far.
Let's find out.
Data is great.
Data is great.
I know I'm on the left-hand side.
I must have passed you then. 3 of the 4.
Okay, I was close.
You swapped it for Togepi. How dare you?
Okay, to be fair, Togepi put in a lot of work last week.
You dropped it for Togepi.
I did not drop it. I swapped it onto the bench. There is a difference.
It's all the same to Serena. Next up, in 9th place here, we have Slacking in his first Rumble as well, rocking a very slow core of Amoonguss, Chandelure, and Primarina, which I believe is going to be like a lot of Trick Room cores here soon. And then brought along Como, Luxray, and Durant.
So, I've known Slacking for years at this point. I have played with him. I have played against him a lot, like in metas where he wanted to play competitively, but never had like the means to actually travel to tournaments. And I mean, I was kind of the same way. So we did a lot of theory crafting in 18 and 19 together. When the rule set for 19 got spoiled, he came to me and was like, dude, trust me on this. Chlorophyll Venusaur with your Groudons. It's like, yeah, that actually just sounds insane.
Yeah.
So like we started doing damage calcs. We're like, you can OHKO opposing Groudons. Primarinas, you're faster than like Geomancy Cernius and can OHKO it before it gets one off. I'm like, this is actually insane. You deal with 3 of the best Ubers by yourself. So in 18, he was very much a component of like trying to get Como to work. And like he was one of the innovators of like the Intimidate cycling team. So like seeing Luxray here is also just like right up his alley.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of that.
He's very fixated on like these quote unquote cute mons and trying to make them work, and typically does not play anything that people would consider good. So like seeing him play Amoonguss and Primarina is just like, what?
Who are you?
What are you doing? This isn't you.
But yeah, so I like the Firewater Grass core. It's just the rest of the team doesn't really feel like it fits the others half the team. It's like, here's all these slow mons like Trick Room, and then here's Durant and Luxray. Like Luxray's in that mid-speed tier. It's like it can go slow, but it doesn't like to go slow because it doesn't like to get hit. So Komo's in the same boat.
Notably, we have the Fairy Dragon Steel core as well here with Como, Primarina, Durant. We have our Firewater Grass core. So really, it's just like, what is this Luxray doing for us? And it's just basically Intimidate.
Yeah,
like,
it's just Intimidator.
Like I'm pretty sure it was the exact set he played on the Intimidate cycling team of just like, yeah, I'm going to just try to stall out as much as I possibly can against you. I don't think he brought it against me in our 3-game set. I could be wrong. I would have to go back and look, but I don't think he ever did. I know we had a game where just like, all right, Amoonguss, put you to sleep. All right, you're Amoonguss, put my thing to sleep. It's just like, all right, this is really annoying, and if this is going to be the future, I don't want to play this.
That's what the future is Can your Amoonguss put things to sleep? Cool. Can my Amoonguss put things to sleep? Cool.
Because we're just going to look at each other
and
and be
that's
like,
what's going to happen, is Amoonguss battles are going to come out, and you're going to have to be able to beat up other Amoonguss. And
my Amoonguss did win me a game because it was able... I ran Giga Drain on it, and I got the Giga Drain down a Primarina.
I ran Giga Drain on mine to beat Gastrodon.
Yep. I didn't see Gastrodon. I think the only Water Bond I actually played against was Primarina.
I saw...
Oh, no, that's not true, because I also saw the Seeking down here.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I'm pretty sure you told me something about getting horn drilled by a Seeking.
My poor Arcanine got horn drilled.
Polgriff, you're in 10th place with Trevenant, Marowak, Alolan Marowak, Seeking, Escavalier, Liepard, and Hatterene.
Super hard Trick Room.
Like, a hardest of hard Trick Room. And then Seeking is just like, I'm gonna horn drill you.
So, seeing it in team preview, I was like, alright, sure, whatever. I have Rotom to be able to deal with, like, it. And then it switched in on... I think I went for, like, a Max Lightning into a Liepard, and it switched in, and I'm just like, oh, this is awful. I am so dead.
Yeah, no, this is the one weird one it's the one weird water type that has Lightning Rod. Gimme.
And then, like... the Trevenant and the... No, this was the Alolan that didn't have Lightning Rod. Because if it did, it actually cost me my game. It came in and Flare Blitzed me, and I'm just like, alright, cool, I can actually beat this one. But Trevenant and the Alolan are just like, alright, Poltergeist you, which hits like a truck from a Life Orb Trevenant. Like,
oh, yeah.
I didn't realize Trevenant got, Trick Room?
Yep.
Until I was talking to you, and you're like, oh, hey, by the way, what's going to Trick Room here? I'm just like, obviously the one that has Trick Room. And then later in that same game, Trevenant goes for it. I'm like, I am dead. Game 2, he Dynamaxed the Hatterene with the he did copycat things. I can't think of Mons. Liepard, there we go.
Liepard copycat.
Yeah, just like, well, that's really annoying. So that, I think I lost game 2. I know I got beat up by an Escavalier.
Escavalier does a very good job of beating people up.
For sure, man. Especially left unchecked. I think you actually got to watch game 3 of that set.
I think I did.
And it came down to like Arcanine versus Escavalier, and Escavalier is at like -3 attack or something.
Yeah, poor Escavalier's not doing anything, and
like,
Arcanine's just like,
alright, cool. Eat you.
get you. Notably down here in 11th, this is not the team I was expecting to see, because we had talked about Snorgar's team before the whole event happened, like 2 or 3 days beforehand. It was a mono ghost team.
There's not a ghost on this team.
Yeah, I know.
What happened?
I think he just wanted to swap, so we swapped into Ferrothorn, Amoonguss, Dracozolt, Toxapex, Frost Moth, and Comfey.
Was this weakness policy Dracozolt?
That could be a weakness policy Dracozolt, because that'd be really cute if it was.
Worst part is I texted you about this a couple days back. It's like, you were doing something with like Sylveon and Dracozolt, and was it Rain? Was it for the Rumble? Dude, we talk so much. I can't actually remember what we talked about.
That was Dracovish, Sylveon. I had Sylveon on my team.
Yeah,
That's my fairy coverage. I was like, do we want to weakness policy Dracovish? Is like, no. I will literally die.
Just beat him up.
There is no bulk investment in Dracovish at all, and it will go down to this quick attack if I'm not careful.
Like, the worst part is you're not wrong, because I know how like insanely powerful Sylveon is. Even like if you are minus attack nature, it's just like,
it's still
ow, that hurt.
Like, it's a stab quick attack. It's gonna hurt no matter what. But yeah, this team it feels a little off because it really was a Trick Room Center, and well, Comfey is the Trick Room Center. Like, if you had it on there, that's the one mon that could set it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird. You wouldn't think this base 100 speed mon would have access to Trick Room.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, 97% of Pokemon get access to Trick Room, it seems like.
If you are a Psychic type, a Ghost type,
evidently, if you're a Fairy...
Sometimes it's Fairy types, but usually it's Psychic and Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the Rumble. Probably going to have another one in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it seems like we're firing them every other weekend.
And it's about bi-weekly now, so yeah. So now that we got a system going, this next one will definitely be in Series 6, full swing.
Yeah, after they said they had to reschedule for Sunday, I'm just like, well, if we play Series 6, I'd be way more like incentivized to actually play. And they're like, okay, well, we'll do that. Like,
I was going to say, we had made the swap to Series 6, but then we realized they couldn't play on Saturday anymore. So I even got to play because I wasn't going to be able to play at all.
Yeah, I was not originally planning to, and then like, hey, what about Sunday? I'm like, yeah, sure.
We can play Sunday.
Deal.
So, yeah. Notably, I had my team locked like 3 or 4 days ago. It's like, if I get to play, this is what I'm playing. Because I didn't know when I was going to be off work on Saturday. It was just like, if I can play, I'm playing this. But it's just like, I don't know what I want to play. It's like, I wasn't sure if I was going to play. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Series 6 so far seems to be one of like two things. And I posted this on Twitter when we were shouting out the podcast this week, which has this one's last episode took off. Like,
I'm not surprised, man.
Series 6 has got a lot of people's attention, but it's going to be very polarizing. You're either going to be, it's all going to be hyper aggro, and it's going to be like Series 5. You got to figure out like if you lead wrong, you die, or
which is so I am all for that.
Which Series 5 was great. Like, I enjoyed watching and playing Series 5. The other way it could go is everything's a gimmick, and it just gets bogged down, and it gets real like rock paper scissory, which is
you learn greatest. Like, I mean, the worst part is like how much redirection do we actually have in this? Like, granted, this is an 11-man tournament, but is our only
I had 2 on my team.
Oh, I always forget Amoonguss gets stuff, man. I know it's like the best mon.
Notably, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 Amoonguss, and then my Clefairy.
So 8. I don't see anything else that gets redirection.
That's in the 11-man tournament, yeah.
But granted, if you take away Amoonguss, we have 1.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, Amoonguss is going to be very important.
Yeah, Amoonguss is real good. Especially at slowing people down, because you have to deal with Amoonguss, or Amoonguss is just going to completely slow you down. I'm hoping that the threat of Amoonguss is enough to keep the format in a fun state. The minute it starts to just go all gimmicks all the time, kind of just like is going to ruin it for me. Series 3 felt that way. It was just like, everything's fast. We had Venusaur to just go fast, sleep powder all the time.
I will agree with that. It seems like there for a hot minute, 6 out of 6 Pokemon on every team could carry a weakness policy, and like even now it seems like, alright, well, there's a lot of things that could, but like this is the most logical based on history. But there for a hot minute it's just like, alright, well, everything here can carry a weakness policy, from Excadrill to T-Tar to just everything. Like Togekiss was, like, the mon that is known historically as a support mon. Well, yeah, you can run weakness policy.
You can run weakness policy, and you can run crit.
Like, yay, this is great.
Notably, the graphic we're looking at, they use Shiny Duraludon.
I did notice that, and it's really bothering me.
It's bothering the hell out of me.
Because it is the only one on this entire spreadsheet.
You can see it, too. It's the only shiny on the screen, and it's just, like, right there in the middle.
And what really bothers me is Duraludon Shiny's not good. So it's just like, can we change that?
Yeah, Rumble was great. Looking forward to more Series 6 and how it's going to unfold. I really hope it stays a kind of grindy, hyper-offensive versus mid-range format, and not just like just devolves into this degenerate garbage that Series 3 was, where Dynamaxing on turn 1 is all you see, and Gigantamax Lapras, and
which I think Lapras is going to be really good.
Notably, the Laprases that were played weren't paired with Comfey, which I feel like is mistake number 1 when playing Lapras.
Yeah.
pair your Laprases with Comfey. Throw physical Goodra on your team as well, and you got a real nice chorus right there.
Like, alright, what's gonna be where? Which one of these carries the policy?
Which one's got Life Orb? Which one's got Policy? Let's go.
The correct answer is neither of them. Lapras is like Clay.
Yeah. Tricked you both. Lapras isn't doing damage this game.
It's here to set screens, and that's it.
Yep. Notably, I was running Bisharp on my team's post Rumble, just because it's Break plus Sucker Punch, and Assurance does a heck of a lot of damage. And I was testing it with Rain because it's just Steel type. Rain gets rid of the ground type weakness. Kingdra can deal with the fighting type weakness with Hurricane. Kingdra, Bisharp, Politoed. It felt like a real good pairing. Then I just kind of dropped Kingdra, Politoed, and just kept the Bisharp because the Bisharp felt really good.
Bisharp is something we're going to talk about later, actually.
Yeah.
We have really, really interesting stuff for Team of the Week this week. It's kind of a revival of an old original team that we talked about forever ago.
It was a while.
It is legitimately one of our early Team of the Weeks
for sure.
So really, actually excited to talk about this here,
and now you get to play it on ladder.
True.
Notably, the first episode won't be on Series 6 ladder.
Yeah, it's going to be really awkward, and I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do if I want to just auto-concede matches to actually play against Series 6 teams, because I know there's going to be people who are like, it's the last time I get to play Dragapult. I'm going to shove it down your throat. I'm just like, can you not, though?
Please don't.
Can this thing go away?
But we're going to talk about Players' Cup first. To the surprise of no one, Urshifu made a run back. Urshifu and Ferrothorn made run backs up through the Players' Cup.
Not surprised.
Which we were, we talked about it last time. Ferrothorn was real popular in the qualifiers for the Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And by no surprise here, Ferrothorn did really, really well.
It's, I know we talked about Aaron Zhang's article last week on the show, where he highlighted that Ferrothorn seemed really well positioned going into this tournament. And in all actuality, it seemed like it did okay. Okay seems like the best qualifier.
Because the tournament was double elimination, it's a little bit harder. You have to take all this stuff with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just people got out early, and then they just got paired against other teams that got knocked out early. It's kind of just how the situation goes. So a lot of the early teams got paired against, in this situation down here, pretty much two of the exact same teams.
Yeah.
One of these two had to move on, and it just so happened that this one moved on and this one got stuck behind, but they were the exact same 6. So we're going to go through and probably start at the bottom and work our way up.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. We can just highlight what we want to actually talk about here. However you want to do it, man.
Notably, a lot of the unique Pokemon are still here. A lot of people had because of the way the Players' Cup finals worked, you had the opportunity to reset and bring a different team. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody really changed anything crazy. I know personally that the winner, Super Santi here, they changed one Mon, but they brought Urshifu.
Urshifu seems real good, man.
So trying to figure out how they brought and who they brought. I'm not sure exactly what is going on there. But here at the very bottom here, we have Joe UX9, as most people know him, also known as Joseph Urgate, Togekiss, Dragapult, Excadrill, Moongus, Incineroar, and T-Tar. Probably the most standard of standard 6s you could ever see pre-Series 6.
Yeah, this I mean, we were kind of talking about before the show, it's just hey, 5 of the 6 mons here are banned. There's a reason. They're really good. Yeah.
If a Moongus had seen... If Rillaboom and Ferrothorn hadn't been so popular, I think a Moongus would have been on that ban list.
Agreed.
For sure.
And, the worst part is Ferrothorn's not on that list.
Yeah.
So, your premier grass types moving forward are going to be Amoonguss and Ferrothorn, and it's just like, yeah, those are both really good. The notable thing is, like, they are both incredibly slow, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real dominant, like, chlorophyll abuser now. Granted, like, your Sunsetter is now Ninetales, which is... I kind of talked about this on the laddering episode that went live today, Thursday, where it seems in a weird spot where, like, Gigalith and Ninetales are obviously much weaker than their respective weather setters with Tyranitar and Torkoal, but they both do interesting things for their respective teams. Where, like, Gigalith can run a variety of sets, it seems like Ninetales is focused in to do exactly one thing, where it just wants to set its sun, and if it gets to do some significant damage while it's in, cool. Like, its primary goal is, I want sun. Whereas Gigalith is like, alright, cool, sand, but I also get to beat you up.
Yeah, I have other things I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this team is very, very standard outside of this Amoonguss. Usually these teams you see Venusaur on the spot.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, at that point, it literally is...
Which, funnily enough, there was just, like, I guess a player's agreement. No one brought Venusaur. There is not a single Venusaur.
Oh, that's actually hilarious.
Notably, like, it's Rillaboom, Ferrothorn, and then Amoonguss, and then, like, the next grass type you see is Lilligant.
That's a mon that exists.
Yep.
So, okay, looking at Giovanni's team here down in the... tied for 13th, I guess.
The first losers bracket.
So, this team is the same team that I believe he brought into the qualifiers.
Yep, it's pretty much the exact same six, I believe.
So, Aaron Zhang played this on Road to Ranked. And this team's cool. It really is. And Lilligant is super unique. And obviously, the Drapion is super unconventional. But it kind of just works. And when it works, it's super cool. But I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
Like, after watching the matches and, like, seeing now where Giovanni placed, it's apparent to me that this team is not as good as I want it to be.
Yeah, I think Gio got paired early against Santio really, really early. Like, I think, like, first round. So that didn't do him any favors. Let's pair your meme team against a tried and true Colossal team.
Yeah.
And see how well you do. Notably not having any good way to deal with a Colossal that got its boosts off outside of hopefully Aqua Jenny with Urshifu. And if the sun is out, then it's just like with your teams, it's like what your team wants to be doing is having the sun out, then your chance of just Aqua Jet Yokoing it is just like really, really low.
I don't remember if this is Water Urshifu or not.
I believe it is on this one.
Okay, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since that video went live for Aaron, so I can't remember what's what, man. I feel like I've said that a lot tonight where I'm just like, yeah, I don't remember things, but whatever.
Next team in this first losers bracket in the hands of David Kotesh, Togekiss, Gudra, Gyarados, Corviknight, Rillaboom, and Cobalion.
Do we have a beat-up user here?
I think Gyarados gets beat up.
I don't know. This is why we have Showdown.
Of all the ones on that team, I think Gyarados is the only one that could potentially get beat up. And it doesn't.
It does not.
So I don't think any of these mons get beat up.
Okay, so we're not trying to, like, meme people out of the game.
No. And there's no, like, mon that's weak to a dark type attack.
You know, Dark Urshifu gets it?
Neat.
That is neat. I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely neat.
But yeah, so Gudra does Gudra things. Usually you can be special as Sap Sipper to eat sleep powders. Notably with Amoonguss and Lilligant being played in this tournament. Yeah, that probably came up a ton. Depending on who they played against. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they didn't get matched against Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
Gyarados does Gyarados things. Corviknight's starting to grow on me. for Series 6, mainly because Magnezone is gone.
I can understand that. It seems like a couple of its really good answers are gone now with Incineroar, Magnezone.
Yeah.
Incineroar
was never bad, but the fact that you just you may have balanced the Intimidate back, but if it's special Incineroar, you're still going to go down to Burning Jealousy.
Oh, for sure.
Because you want to bulk up turn 1 and you can't. And I'm trying to figure out what this Cobalion does for this team, but
I actually don't know.
That's interesting. This is an interesting team for sure. Next up here is Alistair Sandover in the last of the first round losers. And notably, the next team above it is the exact same, so we're just going to lump these guys together. Gabriel Agati and Alistair Sandover brought the teams of Togekiss, Dragapult, Rotom Wash, Incineroar, Ferrothorn, and Porygon-Z.
2.
Porygon 2.
Was there a PC here at all, actually?
I don't think so.
I don't see one.
Nope. Wait. Nope. I saw Clefairy.
That's close enough.
I saw Clefairy. Oh, no. Okay. So so I know what happened here. This is one of the teams that they swapped him on as well. This was PZ, and instead they turned it into Urshifu.
Interesting.
Because he was... G-Sock Lee was the one PZ player to make Top Cut, and they turned it into an Urshifu afterwards.
That's really interesting.
So P2, Ferrothorn, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Dragapult, Togekiss, pretty standard. Here's the slow mode, here's this fast mode, here's the support mons.
I mean, even looking at the team right above them, instead of Rotom, they have Primarina. So, 5 of the 6 mons, with the 6th one not being that far off.
Yeah,
so,
the water mon you pick is okay. It's just, whatever.
Yeah, again, this team is pretty standard for Series 5, so don't really have a lot to say for it at this point.
Yeah. Next up here, we have probably one of the more standard Cinderace teams with Cinderace, Bisharp, Rillaboom, and then Togekiss. But then we got Araquanid in P2.
I was gonna say, you say standard, but there's an Araquanid here. Sorry.
It's one of the more standard ones. If you look at the next Cinderace above it, none of Cinderace's actual pairings are up there.
No, that's actually interesting.
This is a more Cinderace-based team than the other Cinderace team is. So, we all know the power of Cinderace Bisharp. Cinderace wants to get... You kind of need to intimidate the Cinderace, but then Bisharp is defiant, and then Bisharp takes you out because you spent all your assets on trying to take out a Cinderace. That is Dynamax in front of you and is faster than you.
Yep.
Notably, we have a slow mode with Araquanid. Araquanid's a really, really cute mon.
Mm-hmm.
Water Bubble means you can never be burnt.
Which is really powerful, especially on such a high attack stat mon. Anything that just wants to beat you up. This week for Draft League, I'm playing Evan, who has Haxorus. This is the one way I can kind of deal with this Haxorus is just get a burn off. And I have a feeling he's going to have a Lumberry on it, and I'm going to be incredibly sad.
You are.
I know. But the fact that you don't have to devote an item to prevent that is just all right, cool. Now it doesn't matter what you do. You can try to scald me. It doesn't matter. I resist it. It's not going to burn me, so whatever. You can try to fire a Will-O-Wisp off into me. It's just not going to work. So just whatever you try, it doesn't matter. Your main way of dealing with my ability, my ability to put out damage, isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Next up is probably one of the only teams on this list that is safe for Series 6.
Yep.
Grimmsnarl, Dracozolt, Gastrodon, Arcanine, Amoonguss, and Corviknight. Notably, we have Dracozolt here. Dracozolt is a great answer to most of these bulky water types that we see in the form of Gyarados, Primarina. Notably can take out Water Urshifu, can notably take on... it can notably take on Corviknight. Voltbeak OHKO's a lot of Pokemon.
It really does. Hustle plus Life Orb is just a ton of damage coming off from this thing. And, I think Dracozolt could be a serious contender for, you were talking about, powerful dragons moving forward. I think Dracozolt deserves an argument in that competition.
Unfortunately, Dracozolt isn't very fast, and its bulk is kind of lacking.
Isn't it? I know we've had this debate. Isn't it just as fast as Dracovish?
I think so.
So, like, it just... I don't know, man. I want it to be good.
The problem is Dracozolts can be negated by just swapping into a ground type.
Yeah.
Whereas Dracovish doesn't care what swaps into it. You're still
Gastrodon, sir.
It doesn't care.
Maractus, sir.
It still doesn't care. What are those two going to do to Dracovish?
Sucker punch you.
Oh, boy.
What were we watching the other night? We're just like...
It was raids. We were doing a raid, and Maractus just sucker punched the raid Pokemon.
It's like, what? Why do you know that?
Next up here, we get into the starting to get into the quarterfinals for losers. This is essentially the top 8. We have Amoonguss, Dragapult, Gyarados, Incineroar, Toxtricity, and I believe Urshifu of some sort.
That looks to be Darky.
I don't know. The sprite's the same on all
Which
of
is so disappointing, man. Like, how is it that a one-man member can put together a graphic that can actually, differentiate them, but a team for Victory Road, I believe this is Victory Road we're looking at, can't.
Which they take these sprites are from just like Pokemon databases. So it's
even still, man, like, so you're telling me that the Pokemon company that has access to all this can't do it?
Yeah.
Yet one of our guys can.
Yep.
It makes no sense to me, and I will not understand it.
Cool part about this team is this Toxtricity sitting here. Toxtricity, I feel like, is another mon that was...
Its stock goes way up with Excadrill and T-Tar both being eliminated.
I was playing a little bit with it. It answers Primarina really well. It answers all the bulky water types really well.
Overdrive hits real hard.
And then being able to just paralyze and or poison other Pokemon with G-Max Stun Shock is really, really good. Next up is actual beat up. This one's got beat up.
Yep.
P2, Dragapult, Primarina, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Terrakion. This Dragapult is 100% a beat up Dragapult.
You could also be coaching on the Terrakion.
You can also do that.
Like, that is a mode. Especially having so many physical mons on this team, I could actually see coaching Terrakion be good.
Yeah. Coaching Terrakion for your Rillaboom.
Yeah, that seems insane.
I think this Incineroar is Snarl Burning Jealousy.
Yeah, that would make sense.
This is a more supporting Incineroar. Next up, getting into the top 6 now. Yeah. Togekiss, Cinderace, Primarina, Incineroar, Ferrothorn, and Alolan Ninetales.
Is it here just to set screens?
I believe it's like, here's screens, maybe get a Blizzard off and like freeze somebody.
Doesn't matter, I set screens, cool.
Yeah. Like, I have Focus Sash, you can hit me all you want, cool.
I guess incidentally it makes your Cinderace better? Like, granted, screens makes everything have way more bulk.
Like, screens helps everything. But Cinderace being very not bulk, it helps out a ton.
For sure.
Next up is Yuri's team. He ended up in 5th. We have Togekiss, Dragapult, Rotom, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Excadrill, which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, here's these 5 Pokemon that are banned in Amoonguss.
Yep. Sir, there's a Rotom.
Yeah, it could be any water type at that point.
True, I'm not going to complain.
We're going to jump to top 3 here because we're running out of time. P2, Dragapult, Primarina, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Terrakion again.
Yep, same thing we just covered. I have nothing to say in the last 5 minutes.
So, cool story about Nico here in 3rd place. They went from loss in round 1
to 3rd place finish.
All the way.
That's awesome.
They won all the way up, and they lost to the only other person they lost to was 2nd place G-Sock Lee. Because he got kicked out of the winners finals to fight the losers finals, and he just went back up to fight Santino again. G-Sock did. So it's just like Nico's just like Cinderella story, and then it just gets ended.
Yep, it's close.
Which it was really close. It was really cool. seeing Nico's team, it is very one-dimensional. It really wants to do the Terrakion thing.
Mm-hmm.
When we were watching it play on camera. And
okay, so this one is beat up Terrakion?
Like, this one
okay.
I know is beat up Terrakion. This really wants to do the Terrakion beat up. And I have a feeling Eduardo Ferraris' team is the same.
It would make sense having the exact same 6 Mons. It's just like, all right, cool.
Like, I feel like they probably worked together at some point a little bit.
I can see that.
Because it's like, these are big tournaments. You all want to do well, and if someone has to win, cool. Someone has to win.
Well, you say big tournament, but big stakes, not a large contested pool. Yeah, no. I mean, okay, this is the finals, though, is what I'm saying. It's, 16 teams here?
16 teams here out of 256 plus 256 plus 256 plus 128.
Yeah, but I mean...
Plus the thousands of players that play to even qualify.
You can also differentiate between what you were doing and what you're doing now. So I'm saying that this has a more limited pool of players and not...
Not a lot of these people didn't change their teams.
True.
They had the option. They gave the option.
Reality,
no one really did.
You are correct. We see.
I believe the only people
who
actually changed it were Santino and G-Sock. Everybody else pretty much stuck with their 6s that they brought.
I mean, even looking at those, it's just like we made one change. We brought Urshifu.
We swapped one Mon, yeah, and brought Urshifu. Which, getting G-Sock's team here, we talked about earlier, G-Sock's team was a PZ team. He qualified with Porygon-Z. Notably dropped Porygon-Z to bring Urshifu, which I believe this was a water Urshifu, if I remember correctly. Yes, it was a water Urshifu because it was Urshifu mirrors all the time.
Great.
Because he would bring his 4 against Santino was always Urshifu, Primarina, because he needed to be able to deal with Colossal.
Yep.
And then like Incineroar, and then I think Ferrothorn. Like those were the ones he brought all the time.
Okay.
Because it's just like Ferrothorn's there. Once Colossal goes down, Ferrothorn's like there's nothing to answer Ferrothorn outside of this Incineroar, which you have 2 water mons to beat this Incineroar with. So that was kind of the goal, like what the game plan was. Which all those matches were really good. Unfortunately for G-Sock, the team Santino's played a ton of Colossal. I think they were talking about it. Santino's played like 1,000+ games with just Colossal teams.
I would not be surprised, man. Especially like it shows when you actually go and watch the games. It's just like this is so like he's able to play around basically everything when it comes to this team. He knows what he's doing with it. Like
there was a lot of posturing trying to do something with Colossal a lot of the time. I remember there was one game Colossal didn't come out until the very, very end, and then Gigantamax and it took over the game from there.
Yep.
I played Colossal in the first draft league, and that's what I would do with it a lot of the time. I was just like, okay,
apply pressure
early. Now here's Colossal's going to try to 1v4. And Colossal's really good at being able to just 1v4 people.
Yep, it takes literally one attack and it's set up.
So I'm not sure why we swapped to off of PZ. I feel like Porygon-Z would have been a better match here against Santino's team. But
it's really interesting looking at this because like seeing that Clef, you think like Clef PZ is really good. So it's just like, it seems like Clef is kind of out of place on this team.
Notably, Clef Urshifu is still a really strong lead.
Agreed.
It works the same way as PZ. It's just like you don't have to Dynamax. You still have a lot of power without being forced into Dynamaxing to get all that power out of it. So you get to save your Dynamax for your Dragapult, for your Primarina, whenever you need it. Last here in first place here, Super Santi, Santino Tarquino. I hope I pronounced that right. Togekiss, Dragapult, Water Urshifu, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Colossal.
So I'm assuming we have 2 different ways to set this up.
Yep.
With Urshifu and Dragapult.
Yep.
And then from there it's just like typical support from Incineroar, Togekiss, and Dragapult. I'm assuming this is like Screen's Dragapult?
No.
Okay. Is it like
I believe it is Surf. I believe it was Surf, Light Screen, and then 2 damaging moves, or Surf, Protect, and 2 damaging moves.
Okay.
In the form of Phantom Force and I think Dragon Darts.
Okay. And then I'm assuming this is just like stereotypical Rillaboom with pick an item.
Wood Hammer, Grassy Glide, Superpower, U-turn.
Okay, Assault Vest.
Choice Band.
Choice Band. Oh.
There was a banded Rillaboom in the top, but I don't know where it was at. But I believe
that would make
that
sense because Assault Vest you carry Fake Out, and Choice Band obviously you don't want to for very obvious reasons. So being able to just have access to like U-turn Choice Band is going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Grassy Glide if you can actually maintain the priority, which it looks like the only terrain Pokemon in the top 16 is Rillaboom. I don't think
there
any
is
other one that changes terrain.
Zero Indeedee.
Really interesting to actually think that they banned it. And it's not even represented at Worlds.
Yeah. But yeah, Santino's team was really, really cool. Zeno Verto on the Discord has been playing a ton with this team.
Oh,
and he was really excited to see that the team ended up taking over Players' Cup and winning the whole thing. Oh, ready for our last little segment here, Team of the Week?
Let's fire this off, man.
So we've got, like we said, a kind of a throwback to one of our earlier teams with the Gengar Bisharp core. Being able to Sludge Wave with Bisharp on the field is really, really good. And you just get all this extra spread damage from a very, very powerful Gengar. Gengar being max special attack, max speed, as fast as possible. Sludge Wave, Energy Ball is coverage, because you don't really need the Ghost type. Like what second types are you worried about now?
Indeed. No.
You already hit Indeedee.
Shut up.
Anyway.
Hatterene and Dusclops. P2 kind of looks like a psychic type.
Kinda. So Energy Ball is just like extra coverage because I don't think we have a grass type, actual grass type move. We have Giga Drain on Amoonguss and that's it. So having two of them is just like extra coverage because Gastrodon can be a problem for this team. Being able to hit Dracozolt and absorb a Primarina Stab. Hydro Cannons. Which that's a whole other can of worms we'll get to in a minute. Bisharp here is pretty standard. This is about what I would run. Okay. I would be max HP instead of max special defense though.
Especially since we are Assault Vest, I don't know how much that special defense actually benefits us.
I would rather be bulkier and be able to take more hits overall from other mons than just like, here's my max special defense and hope I don't go down to anything that hits me with a fighting type move.
Who originally was working on Bisharp Gengar? Was it Navier?
I believe it was like Navier and like a couple other people who just like had jumped in on it.
I can't remember, man. And granted,
that was
that's months ago at this point.
Like, that's real early podcast. You could probably go back in the podcast episodes and find it somewhere. And be able to
I feel like we talked about it like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. It was like the original Galarian Weezing.
Notably, the Bisharp moveset is pretty close to what I'm running. I am running Assurance over Lash Out, but then Iron Head, Sucker Punch, and Brick Break are all...
Notably, Lash Out with Defiant is really cute. Because, like, sure, you intimidate me. I had a stat drop this turn. Smack you.
Clap them. Assurance kind of works the same way. Bisharp isn't a very fast one to begin with. So a lot of the times you're getting another move off to help Bisharp's Assurance take out mons. Which I've done that with against Dusclops. I've been able to just, like, Icy Wind you. Assurance.
Yep.
Clap you. Notably, if you take Life Orb damage, Assurance triggers.
I didn't realize that.
Because it is technically counted as damage, so if you take Life Orb damage, Assurance will deal bonus damage to you.
That's cute.
Next up here is a Weakness Policy Primarina. Which is not a mon you see with Weakness Policy very often.
You say that, man, but I've died to it. I've died to it a lot.
I've honestly swapped to Torrent. I don't even carry Liquid Voice anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Hydro Cannon's like enough water. And most of the time you're Gigantamax or Primarina when it's on the field anyway. So it's just like Hydro Cannon plus Moonblast plus either Ice or Grass type move plus Protect. Or unless you're AV, then you get to run the other one too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, cool. This one notably is running Moonblast, Hyper Voice, and Hydro Cannon and Protect. Max HP, max special attack, and 4 special defense.
Okay.
I don't know if that special defense points matters. It might.
Probably?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't have Showdown pulled up anymore.
I honestly would rather probably like your special defense is so high as it is. I'd rather probably just throw it in a defense and just like err on the side of caution. Probably.
I could also see putting it into speed so you outspeed opposing Primarinas.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
I don't hate that.
Next up here is a Dynamaxing Dracozolt. The only reason I know that is because we're running Aerial Ace instead of Stomping Tantrum.
Yep.
Dragon Claw, Bolt Beak, Aerial Ace, Protect, Life Orb, Hustle, Max Attack, Max Speed, 4 EVs and HP. Just got to get that extra HP point.
Good. It knocks people out.
Yeah.
The fact that this thing gets access to Aerial Ace so it has Max Airstream is huge.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the big difference between it and Dracovish. Like, Dracozolt can Dynamax and actually be a good Dynamax mod. Dracovish wants nothing to do with that.
It wants Fish's Rend all day.
You either click Vicious Friend, or you click Ice Fang, or you click Crunch, or Psychic Fangs, or any kind of strong jaw move, and it just eats at people.
Yep.
Next up is a Blast from the Path Conkeldurr. You don't see this Pokemon much anymore.
No.
Urshifu has kind of just like taken over its spot on most teams as the premier fighting type. Notably, this is a Guts Flame Orb set. Max HP, max attack, and 4 defense.
They were talking about it on Discord. Did you know if you have Misty Terrain set, Flame Orb won't trigger?
Yep, because you can't get status.
Yeah, I did not realize that, and then obviously they were talking about it. I'm like, that's actually really interesting.
Yep. I found that out the hard way a lot of the times in
Rough.
The Players' Cup qualifiers when they were doing the IC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
Rough.
Detect, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Ice Punch. Pretty standard Conkeldurr for Guts.
Yeah, Conkeldurr still hits like a truck.
With less dragons in the format, I think you'd probably want to run Thunder Punch instead of Ice Punch, but that's
just have coverage for the bulky water mons that are going to be back.
Like Primarina specifically.
It also could be that Ice Punch is there for Amoonguss.
I think you could hit an Amoonguss. Amoonguss is going to be faster than you.
That's awkward.
Because most Amoonguss that aren't in Trick Rooms aren't going to be min speed. They're going to be at 50, and you're wanting to be min speed Conkeldurr here.
Which is 45?
It'll be 44 after you min speed.
I was close.
Because its base is 45.
I was close.
It works like Dragalge and a Marowak.
Yep.
Notably, Amoonguss after IVs is 50. So you don't even have to be 0 speed. You can just take your way down to 45 and just be 1 point faster than Conkeldurr.
Got him.
And still be good enough for Trick Room.
Got him.
Notably, this Amoonguss is min speed, so it's going to be slower than Conkeldurr. Amoonguss Coldberry Regenerator, pretty standard. Max special defense, max HP for defense. I feel like we are just going to go down to any flying type physical attack.
He said he has not optimized this.
Yeah.
So this is the 1 EV spread. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to slap this on here.
Yeah, I would definitely put more defense on this Pokemon over special defense. You do not need all that.
You don't want to die
defense.
to Talonflame.
Talonflame is going to be a problem. Scizor is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think Scizor is a problem no matter what, though.
I believe if you're max defense, max HP, you can live a dual wing beat from Scizor, but that's the only thing that lives.
As long as you don't get crit.
Yeah.
Hope they crit the first one.
And that's from, I think, just Technician. I don't think I ever did the calc for Choice Band.
Choice Band does a lot.
Choice Band hits so hard, man.
Notably, this set is Rage Powder Spore, Giga Drain, Pollen Puff, so no Protect on this Amoonguss.
I think I like Protect over Pollen Puff.
It kind of depends on what you're wanting this Amoonguss to do. I honestly don't think we even need Giga Drain. I think I'd rather have the Pollen Puff.
Okay.
Notably, you can't hit other Amoongusses super effectively still, but...
does Amoonguss actually have an attack that can hit Amoonguss super effectively?
I don't think so.
Not off the top of my head.
Does poison resist poison?
Sludge Bomb is neutral, yeah.
So, yeah. But I think I'd rather have Pollen Puff because we have so many Pokemon that want the extra healing.
That makes sense.
So it's I'd rather have Pollen Puff just okay, I can damage if I need to, but I'm usually going to hit Pollen Puff to heal my burnt Conkeldurr or heal up my Primarina that got hit. heal up my Dracozolt from all its life orb damage, and so on and so forth.
So notably, we can trigger our weakness policy on Primarina, which still hurts a lot.
Notably, Amoonguss is still slower, so it is a post-attack. So it's like you want to swap in and then proc it at the same time on the same turn.
Oh, I forgot about Giga Drain procking it. That's interesting, too.
Like, you can Giga Drain proc it, which that's who you probably want to be doing it with is Amoonguss. You can also proc it with the Energy Ball on Gengar.
Or Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave hurts.
Sludge Wave hurts. Energy Ball.
Energy Ball's really gonna hurt though.
Anything out of Gengar is gonna hurt. So I'd rather you just like switch it into your other slot and just Giga Drain the slot next to you.
Or just make a good prediction and take like a Thunderbolt or something. But I mean, still, man, it's still gonna hurt. I feel like we may want more special defense on this Primarina.
Look, if that's how we're wanting to proc it was with like Gengar, that's gonna hurt a ton.
Yeah.
If we're procking it with like a Amoonguss, it's one thing.
For sure. For sure.
Notably, if you were running Comfey, you can get it pretty much for free.
True.
Which, that's probably going to be something I've been working on trying to figure out a Lapras team for Series 6 for like... Since we got it announced, I can't figure out the Lapras team at all. They all just feel the same. It's just like, here's Lapras, here's Comfey, here's Goodra.
Alright. Cool. See you next week.
I don't know what else to put in here because it's like this weird set because Lapras and Goodra both want a Dynamax, so you can't really play any other Dynamax Mons. So you really just need to play good Mons that are not Dynamax Mons, and then those don't really exist anymore because they banned them all.
Yeah.
There's a reason all these Mons are played because they make both good Dynamax and not Dynamax, and they're all gone. But yeah, that's Team of the Week for this week. Like I said, first day will probably be on Series 5, but then...
Most likely.
Then Thursdays and Saturdays episodes will definitely be on Series 6.
For sure. So, really, really excited to actually play with this. Like I said, this is a team that has kind of always been a part of our community in some extent. So, actually getting to play it for the first time is really cool. Really excited for this one. So
Same. Draft League's getting ready to wrap up.
For sure. I have my match. We're recording Thursday night. My match is Friday morning. So
notably, by the time this goes up, we should have Top Cut figured out.
For sure.
And we'll be working on getting that done up and try to get as many of those matches on YouTube as possible. I was out like at the end of last week, so like I didn't even really record my match to put up on YouTube.
I believe I am locked. It's really, really close for me to be locked.
Yeah.
Like,
you want certain people below to win.
Yeah.
You really want EB to win. Because that'll bring your tied opponents at 3 and 2 up, meaning you have better breakers that way. Notably, like, also I think Tommy, since Tommy lost, your breakers, that was going to be another boost, is because you played Tommy. And if Tommy made it in, it would have been another boost to your breakers, but he lost. Notably, my opponent, I thought was going to be a very low chance, but because of who they played, they're like the number 1 3-2 right now.
Currently, yeah, but I also haven't played, and I think there's a couple others that still need to at 2 and 2.
There is one more 2 and 2 match, and then there is another 2-2 versus 1-3 match.
Rough.
Which I believe EB is is that 2-2 versus 1-3.
Okay.
I believe.
It's real close, man.
It's going to be real close because there's a lot of 3-2s that aren't going to make it in.
I think if I lose, I'm going to be at like 7th.
Yeah, like your breakers aren't that great.
And if I win, I'm going to be at like 2nd.
Now, granted, the minute you play Evan on Friday, your breakers are going to go up.
For sure.
Because, well, actually, no. It's actually going to probably not help you a lot because your tied opponents, like, you're not going to be tied with anybody because you're still going to be, if you win, you can get tied with him. But then you're just locked anyway. But if you lose, your tiebreakers don't change.
Yep. It's really awkward.
So that's why I said you got to hope EB wins. You got to push. You got to go cheer for EB.
Hashtag Team EB.
Who else can make it in? I can't remember off the top of my
I would
head.
have to pull out the bracket.
Well, guess what? There's this wonderful thing called the internet. There it was. Boop. Let's see here. Who is left? Who can make it? So, I know... I believe Raging Lust and Mafia is another 2-2 and 1-3. And then EB95 and Markle are a 2-2 and 1-3 match.
Yep.
So... depending on who wins, like if EB wins, then your breakers get better because you're tied. You have the tiebreaker over EB, and so on and so forth. Which you really need that tie point.
I really do.
You really need that tie point, or just don't lose.
Yeah, that's the other option.
Notably, my the next tiebreaker down is your Buchel score, and my score is freaking insane for being at 1-4. I probably had one of the hardest strengths of schedule.
Oh, for sure.
Like through the entire tournament. I think everyone I played is X and 3, as like 3 has been 3 or higher. It's ended up 3 or higher right now. Besides Yarb, who dropped early.
Yeah, I am. I really need to win.
Yeah.
Looking at this, I really need to win. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be Bubble Boy.
Notably, if Chasing beats, I believe Chasing's playing Xeno.
Yes.
No, Chasing's playing Jubits.
Which is a 3-1 matchup.
Yeah. And then Xeno is playing Djibouti. If Xeno loses, it's going to help everyone. But a lot of these 3-1s that end up being 4-1s, you need certain people to win.
Yeah.
You specifically, like, you want any of these ones above you to win. You don't want Jubits to win.
Nope. It just makes things more complicated.
Yeah, you'd rather have Jubits lose, not jump you.
Yep.
That
because
way.
I think if Xeno loses, he's still going to be above me.
Yeah. If Xeno loses, he's still above you. Chasing and Djibouti are both 1 point above you in the Buchholz score and are both in the same tiebreaker bracket. So it's going to come down to the wire here who actually makes it in. Poor Quentin, poor Mr. President down here, still without an actual win.
To be fair, he didn't play this week. He gave his win up.
I don't think he was going to win it anyway.
Well, you know, man.
So, but yeah, Draft League is going to come to an end here soon. We're probably going to have a little mono-type tournament in between this Draft League and the next one.
Probably do something like we did with Little Cup where, hey, bring a team.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way to do that. Just, hey, bring a team, do whatever.
Notably for monotypes, I was thinking of like having people draft a monotype, like draft a type. That way there's no shared types.
That's fair. That also could make sense. But then you're locking them into one type.
Which, that's kind of like the thing is just like, pick the type you think you can actually win with.
True.
Because that's the cool thing about Pokemon. There's no like one super type. There's good types and there's bad types, but there's no like this type is better than all of them because everything has a weakness.
True.
And Pokemon's great because they give you coverage for everything.
Yep.
Thank you, Mystical Fire and Energy Ball. Everybody gets Energy Ball and everybody gets Mystical Fire.
It seems like it, man. For sure. Same with like, there's a lot of mons that are just like, yeah, why not give you like Play Rough?
Oh yeah, like Luxray. Luxray gets Play Rough.
Yep. Luxray gets Baby Doll Eyes, man.
That's a move I forgot didn't have priority until I actually went and read it. I'm just like, Baby Doll Eyes, what does that do?
Like why is this weird?
It's priority. That's why it's weird. But yeah. So we'll have more information on tournament stuff coming up in the next couple weeks, probably.
Just keep your ears open, keep your eyes open on Discord. We'll keep everyone posted as we post. So
if you're not part of the Discord, you should consider joining the Discord.
highly recommend joining our Discord. Our people are great. Our community is great.
Plus, you get to do all this fun team building exercises. I think we built a new team every day for Series 6.
Probably.
I think we worked on a new team every day.
And like not only that, but like then you can submit stuff for Team of the Week, and then you can see me play it
on YouTube. Get your teams on YouTube, which is great.
All kinds of great stuff. So, and then you can always go look at we have animal picks and we have food picks and we have so much stuff.
We were building desserts today.
I saw
the food channel.
I saw Zena was asking for help.
And then we had some puppy picks today, which that was a lot of fun.
Animals are great, man. Anything else we need to touch on before we get out of here?
I can't think of anything.
Cool. So, we talked about the Discord. Make sure if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave us down a comment down below what you're working on for Series 6. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
So hit the subscribe button.
Ring that bell for notifications when new stuff goes live.
We're 27 away from 100 subs.
Man, we're so close.
27 away from breaking 100.
You know what that tells me? We have people in the Discord who aren't subscribed to us on YouTube, and that irritates me.
We have a lot of people who probably aren't subscribed and are in the Discord.
And then
because there's a lot of random ones.
True. We have a bunch of people who listen on various platforms that aren't subscribed to Discord who aren't in the Discord or on YouTube either. So
yeah,
if you're one of those, make sure you go and do all that stuff for it too. And let's see. Carl and I are on Twitter. We have at LR Lessons, myself at CardinNoble25, Carl at Musical_33. Carl and I are both on Twitch at Mr. Missouri25 and at Musical, Discord, YouTube, Twitter. That sounds like everything.
Yeah, that's everything.
Alright, everybody. We're getting out of here for this week. We'll be back next week to talk about some actual more Series 6 stuff. And who knows what else, man. We'll figure that out next week.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody. Peace.